Today I'm going to show you how to add some serious strength to your Jeep Cherokee's rear axle with a super affordable truss kit from Taboo Customs. So let's get busy working. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be working on my Chrysler 8 1/4 rear end that came out of my 2000 Jeep Cherokee, also known as Big Dookie number 2, aka the cheap race Jeep. And first I want to say you don't have to take the axle out of the vehicle to do this. You can actually do this in the vehicle. For video purposes, I decided that I wanted to pull it out so you guys could have a clear view of everything that's going on. Plus, I kind of, I'm not too keen on welding right next to the gas tank anyway. So however you guys decide you want to do it, just be safe. Well, all right, let's get to the dirty part, which is cleaning all the rust and dirt and crud off the axle tubes. You don't have to clean anything on the center section because it doesn't weld to that. It only welds to the two tubes. Provides a little more strength, whatever direction this is. And plus, if you wanted to, you could also add in some extra bracing to tie into this and maybe these two bosses right here too, if you wanted to. So now we're going to start getting our little erector set of pieces put together, or just tacked together anyway. First thing I want to do is I'm going to grind the mill scale off of this so I get a nice weld. So let me do that really quick. Now these little pieces right here, you can tell the difference in color. These things right here have a very thick mill scale on them, so I'm gonna have to get the actual grinding wheel out for these, because all the ones so far I've just been hitting with a flap disc, which is usually plenty, but it'll take forever to get the mill scale off of these pieces with a flap disc, so I'm just gonna use a regular grinding wheel. All right, we're going to start tacking this thing together here in a second, but it's a good idea to pre-fit all of your parts. That way you kind of know if you got everything lined up the way it should be. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to weld in these little cross pieces here, spacer plates, whatever you want to call them. Got to get those welded in first, and try to keep these things perpendicular or square to the main pieces, the main parts of the truss. That way you kind of almost guaranteed that everything's going to line up nice and neat. So let's get to doing that. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and burn these cross pieces in. Now we're going to weld our top plate on. We'll tack our first side plate on. Drew up on me a little bit there, so I had to put me a bolt in here to spread these main pieces out a little bit so I could get my side plates on. So now it's on up here, but it needs to squeeze together at the bottom. So there we go. Just make sure you got a nice tight fit. All right, let's get the other side. Doesn't look like this side drew up nearly as much as the other side. Might be able to get it in there by hand. I doubt it. Let me get my bolt out of there. There we go. And we'll put it in this side over here. All right, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and tack this top. Ooh, it's drawn up a little bit. So maybe try to hammer that down. Got a little bit more of a gap there than I like. You guys probably can't see that, but there's a gap right here where this metal is drawn up. Let's see what I can do to pull that down. There we go. I'm happy with that. Okay. Now we can get rid of the C-clamp. So now I'm going to start doing the final welding. Woo! Boy, that thing's crooked as a dog's leg, ain't it? Oh, well, it's got great big old weld boogers on it. Let's just set it up here and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let me get my bolt out of there before I forget it. There we go. That's out. Let's get to welding. This thing is hot, so I'm just gonna kind of set it up there. Woo, hot, hot, hot. And looks like it fits pretty doggone good. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the top of this and I'm going to set it parallel with the leaf spring purchase. But I'm going to let this thing cool off just a little bit, and I've got a little bit more grinding to do. I'm not going to bore you guys to death with that, so we'll be welding this thing on to the next clip. All right, guys, I got it set up on here. I just eyeballed it. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it's within a few degrees of the spring purchase there. Like I said, I just looked down it and said, okay, it looks good enough for me. Got the ends of the C-clamp down because, I mean, it was a little bit warped up like that because I put a lot of heat in the back of this thing, so naturally it wants to draw up some. So, like I said, drew it down with some C-clamps. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get in here and I'm going to tack it in all, 12 areas all around it so it can't move. And then I'm going to come back in and start welding these things, one of these at a time. I'll start here and jump over there and do this side, and then I'll come back over here and I'll do this, whatever. You don't want to get too much heat into this thing. I mean, this is a 3-inch axle tube, but it's only like 1/4-inch wall, so you don't really want to put a whole lot of heat in one area at one time. So jump around, make sure that you spread the heat out, and you'll have as few problems as possible that way, hopefully. Guys, that's it for the welding part. Really not that difficult. Just like I said, just take your time. Try not to warp the axle tubes. That axle shaft turns freely. That one turns freely. It doesn't seem like I got any tension or warpage in the axle housing to cause the axle shaft to bind. So we should be all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing cool down. Then we're going to take it outside, hit it with a pressure washer, and slather a coat of paint on it, and then we'll be getting to putting it back in. Now this kit is going to add a lot of strength to your axle housing, and you'll notice it's got provisions so you can use the factory brake lines. It's a very easy weld together kit. You just need minor fabrication skills, and it fit great with no issues at all. All right guys, that's it. We got the axle cleaned up, painted, and got it reinstalled. I'm not going to make, you know, any footage of me making brake lines, because I mean, you guys probably won't have to do that, but if that's something you want to see, you know, leave a comment down below and I'll see if I can make you a video on that. I believe this thing's really going to add a lot of strength to this axle with the abuse we put it through, racing and stuff like that. And I mean, and to be honest, it just looks cool too, to have a truss on an 8 1/4. But yeah, I mean, that's great. Head on over taboocustoms.com, tell them I sent you over there, and get yours today. I don't know what else to say, guys. If I can do it, I know you can do it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.